Welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast, the place for smart, simple strategies that will amplify your business results. Sharing practical tips, insider knowledge, and actionable advice because marketing is something that every business owner can do. Now, let's get started. Introducing your host, Bianca McKenzie, mum, lover of snow sports, camping, horse riding, and in-demand launch strategist and Facebook advertising knowledge bank.
Welcome to the New School of Marketing podcast. I hope you're all well. Well, we've just farewelled Gastro from the house, which my daughter picked up at daycare. The poor thing was very sick all of Friday and she did nothing but sleep on Saturday. But Sunday, she was back to her bouncy self. Actually, she was even more bouncy than normal. And I guess it's all that loaded energy that she built up from sleeping, and it was just exhausting for me and my husband. Anyway, for any other parents out there, I feel for you when your little ones are sick. It's such a juggle, especially when you're trying to run a business. And it's always so heartbreaking to see them sick. So hopefully that's it for the year, although I don't think it's going to be that easy. Anyway, back to today's topic, organic content. So Facebook ads can be amazing at increasing the traffic, attracting leads, and converting to sales. But the days of simply putting up an ad and it doing exactly what you want are over. Back in the good old days, you could simply run a lead generation campaign and get leads at a really low cost per lead. But that's not always the case nowadays. The ads landscape has changed a lot. There are more players, but not necessarily more space in the newsfeed, so it's becoming more and more competitive. Then throw in an iOS change and suddenly everything about running ads has changed. So while I miss the good old days, I also welcome the change because it means that us marketers have to work smarter. We're really going back to basics, back to the essence of marketing, which is to build relationships for the purpose of promoting and selling products and services. And we've all heard the saying that people buy from people. And while that isn't necessarily true for your toothpaste brand or your loaf of bread, when it comes to buying services or bespoke products, we want to know who we're buying from or who we're working with. Besides, you're not one of the big fast-moving consumer goods with an almost endless advertising budget. You need maximum exposure, but not with a maximum budget. And I hear you. So how do you get your advertising dollar and your sales to go further? Well, you need to support your ads with organic content and the other way around, your organic content with ads. So what does organic content mean? When I speak of organic content, I mean content marketing. And content marketing is a type of marketing that involves the creation and sharing of online material such as blogs, videos, social media posts, podcasts, etc. The main thing to note is that it doesn't explicitly promote a brand, but it is intended to stimulate interest in the products or services of that brand. So your organic content isn't sales content. It's usually content that showcases your business in a way that builds authority, affinity, and trust. Most businesses use a number of different platforms to share their content, and there is absolutely no right or wrong. You can use multiple social media platforms. You can have a blog, a podcast, a YouTube channel. It's up to you. The main thing is that you are where your audience is and you create content your audience wants to consume. So how do you support your sales with organic content and how do you support your ads with organic content? Well, most businesses already create some form of content. You might already be posting on Facebook, on Instagram, you might have a podcast. However, most of you won't be spending any money to make that content go further. Brand awareness and reach ads are one of the most underrated Facebook ads campaigns, and they only require a teeny tiny amount of ad spend. So it's kind of sad that not many people run them. So you can make the content that you're already creating go further and get in front of more people. For example, if you've created a reel and you get 1,000 views on it, and then it basically loses momentum, like bum bum. But you spent all that time creating this awesome reel, and it'd be amazing if more people could see it, right? So what you can do is put a small amount of money behind it. Let's say $2 a day, and get it seen by many more people. So not only do you now have a reel that more people saw and more people connecting with your business, you can also use this data to create a custom audience of the people who watched it, and then create and show them a new ad. For example, you can ask them if they want to download your freebie, and they already know you a little bit. So the chance that they say yes is a little bit higher. This audience is now more qualified because they have already seen your brand, and you started the authority, affinity, and trust process. Most of the time, this strategy actually results in higher conversions at a lower cost because they know you. Another great thing about this approach, apart from enhancing your conversions, is that Facebook loves engagement, and it'll see that you're getting more engagement. And so it'll start to actually favor your organic and your paid reach. It's a win-win, right? If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you would have also heard me say that customers need multiple touch points, and they generally won't buy from you the first time they come across you. And I'm not entirely sure what the number is now because it fluctuates, but it's somewhere between 7 and 12 times. So someone needs to come across your brand an average of 7 to 12 times before they become paying customers. And adding a little bit of ad spend behind the content you're already creating will help you with increasing those touch points. And the thing I love most, though, is that you are already creating this content. So why not leverage it and make it go further? You're spending all this time crafting social media captions, recording reels, writing blog posts, or whatever your content creation of choice is. It would be a shame not to make it go as far as it can go. We all know that social media posts don't last long. I looked it up. At the time of this recording, the lifespan of an Instagram post is 48 hours, and that of a Facebook post is 6 hours. Who knows if those numbers are correct? It's short. Like, if it's not seen within that time frame, it's going to die a slow death. Like, people are not seeing your things. And I know, dramatic, but true. Your posts don't live very long. So why not use a teeny tiny amount of money to make them last longer and go further so that you're getting more out of them? And before you race off to hit that boost button, stop. Do not boost your post or even use the in-app advertising options on Instagram. There's a much better way to turn your organic posts into ads, and I'll walk you through it right now. And for those who need visuals, I'll add screenshots of the sections on my blog so that you can follow along. So your first step is to decide which piece of content you want to turn into an ad. And of course, you don't want to turn all of your content into ads because it needs to be strategic and align with what your business offers. Choose content that relates to the problem that you solve for people. And this can be some of your how-to content or even customer testimonials. Then the next step is to define which audience you want to target. The idea is to reach new people. So you want it to be shown to people who don't know you yet. That doesn't mean you're just going to show it to everyone. No. Think about who your ideal customer is, what their interests are. Think about where they spend time, what magazines they read, people they follow, any other specifics about them. For example, are they parents or preschool children? So think about it. The next step is to set up your campaign in Facebook Ads Manager. Yes, stay away from that boost button. In Ads Manager, you have control over your campaign objective, which you don't with a boost post. Also, you can test different audiences inside Ads Manager. With a boost post, you only have one option. Okay, create your campaign by clicking the Create button inside of Ads Manager. And then you need to choose your objective. And my choice would be to turn a video or a reel into an ad, ideally with a video view campaign or an engagement campaign objective. And if you're sending to people to a blog post or a podcast episode, you'll want to choose the traffic objective. And you also need to set a budget. Like I said, you can start with $2 a day, or if you have a bit more to spend, increase it to $5 or $10 a day. The rule of thumb is to use about 5% of your monthly budget, ads budget, on awareness campaigns. So follow the steps inside Ads Manager and have a look at the screenshots if you need that visual, just on how to set up your campaign. You'll be selecting your audience, adding your budget, selecting the post you want to turn into an ad. And if you come across any options that you're unsure of, my advice is to leave it at the default setting. Facebook wants you to succeed with your ads, so just go with the default. So the last step is to turn your post into an ad. And many people don't know about this option because a lot of them use Facebook ads to create new ads, but you can actually turn an existing post on your Instagram or your Facebook feed into an ad. When you come across the ad setup section, select use existing post. And then you have the option to find your post inside of Facebook or Instagram. And if you're turning reels into ads, there are a few restrictions, so be aware of these. At the time of recording, you can't turn reels into ads that have stickers on them, and some music is also restricted. There are some restrictions, so just have a look at that. And if this is the case, you could download the reel and upload it as a video ad, which isn't necessarily what I'm trying to explain in this episode, but that's an option too. Once you have selected your post, check the preview, and if you're happy with it, you can post it to go live. You'll be able to monitor the results inside of your Facebook Ads Manager dashboard. And remember that you're using the brand awareness objective. So don't go looking for sales. This is purely to get in front of new people, to make your organic content go further in the authority, affinity, and trust game. Okay, that's it for this week. If you want to support your sales, use organic content to build your authority, affinity, and trust, and increase the amount of touch points you have with your audience. It is a great way to leverage your existing content for greater reach. And once you've actually run a few of these ads, you'll be building specific audiences that you can then retarget with other content. It is seriously the way we are now working. All right, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the New School of Marketing podcast. I hope it was helpful, and I'll be back with more tips next week. If you're ready to take your business to the next level with Facebook and Instagram advertising, make sure you visit newschoolofmarketing.com to download practical, free resources, plus subscribe to the podcast and never miss an episode. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. See you next time. Market your business every day.